got something to talk about today, girl.
Girl, what are you waiting on? Follow me on Instagram, like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell notification.
Hey y'all, we are here to talk about something kind of heavy, kind of not, but something for y'all to think about that's kind of light actually. So we are here to talk about sending men to the grocery store. Because the girls be online complaining, and I just want to put something out there for your inspection, okay? All right, let's chat. I'm going to be brief with this topic, and if y'all want to argue, y'all can argue on my comments. We're going to see how this goes. So online, I always see people talking about how they do not like sending their men to the grocery store, or when they send them to the grocery store, they got to send them with pictures. You know, like in Handmaid's Tale, when Serena got that list and it just had pictures up there because the women weren't allowed to read. They saying them the kind of grocery list that you got to get to men when you send your men to the store. Now, apparently there's a term for this called weaponized ignorance. I got my notes, so you know I mean business today. So apparently weaponized ignorance is when a man feigns ignorance because he simply does not want to do the task. So he goes to the grocery store and constantly texts and FaceTimes his wife or partner about the items that she gave him to pick up, because he's acting like he doesn't know where it is, because he simply does not want to be asked to do that task again because it annoys him so much. So that's what some women are saying online. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like when I first heard it. So I'm in this Facebook group and this girl was talking about how she sent her husband to the store and he kept texting her like, F it, I'm leaving. I can't find the olives. So these were my thoughts to the reply. I, for one, know that I am particular when it comes to groceries. So if I were to give my husband a list that said ketchup and bread, he's not going to know that what I actually mean is organic, high fructose corn syrup free ketchup. Okay? He's not going to know that I mean sprouted whole grain bread. He ain't going to understand that. So I think that as women, we need to be mindful of how particular we are and then putting that expectation onto our partner and hoping that they guess correctly. Now, if I were to type out a grocery list, then I would need to spell out all of that if I want him to get what I want him to get. So we have to be mindful of our expectations of others and being clear with the information that we give them. That's my first rebuttal. So I do the grocery shopping for our household every week. Y'all know that because y'all see my grocery vlogs. Now, I go to the same grocery stores every single week. If I were to go to, let's say, a different Aldi, for example, and I can't find what I'm looking for, I get frustrated. And that's the person who always shops at Aldi and who always does the grocery shopping. Now, if I were to send my husband out to do the grocery shopping, who rarely does groceries anymore, do you think he's going to get frustrated when he can't find something that's on my list for the person who primarily cooks in the household? Absolutely. I think that it's fair for people to get frustrated when they can't find something. I, for one, get frustrated when I got to put something together and it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. Now listen, I don't mind putting together a quick chair or something like that. But if this piece over here and this piece over here and it's just looking way too confusing, I'm hollering my husband's name because I don't want to do it no more. I have been known to run out of the house when the door was broken and be like, babe, can you fix that? Like, I get frustrated with things. So I think that it's important to extend some grace to our partners when they do the same thing in an area that's outside of their comfort zone. Now, yes, some men might be feigning or weaponizing ignorance. Totally get that, because some of them are simply going to be lazy, not want to do the task, think that it's a woman's role to do the job, think that it's emasculating for them to grocery shop, do dishes correctly, do whatever correctly, right? I think that that's highly possible, but I think that it's most important to understand your partner. And if you partner with someone who does that on a regular and you continue to aid and abet in that behavior, then what does that also say about you? Because you're not calling it out for what you consider it to be or what you see it to be. Now, apparently, one of the rebuttals to feigned or weaponized ignorance is that some women get off on that because it solidifies their role in the relationship. So traditionally, we know that for every dollar they make, women make 66 cents or something like that, right? Black women. So if the man makes the majority of the money within the household, then the woman doesn't make as much, and maybe she feels as though she's trying to solidify her role within the house, because women are expected to cook, clean, and keep a home, right? So if I can boost my ego up by saying, I just do this better. He is just no good at it, girl. Blah, 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 blah. Men, they are just so incapable. Where would they be without us? Then it solidifies my role as the woman of the household. Let's take it a step further. What if a woman is a stay-at-home wife or spouse, right? That might get amped up a notch even more because she's not bringing in her own income, right? So we have to be mindful of our own insecurities and our own need for ego boost when we talk about our partner. And something that I see going on a lot online that I'm usually, or at least now, I kind of question, is when Black women in particular get very comfortable bashing Black men online. Now, listen, if you're talking about the system of patriarchy, I think that that's clearly different than simply talking about Black men in general. I think that we've gotten to a place where Black women recognize that on the American social totem pole, we're kind of at the bottom, right? So you got white men, white women, whatever other races, then Black men, then Black women, right? Because men have more privilege than women. So it seems like because women recognize in society standards, we're on the bottom of the social totem pole, it's like we think that gives us the authority to talk bad about everyone at the top, no matter how vile our words are. And when we do that online, what happens to the Black men who don't have any of that stuff going on and they're not problematic? They see us saying, oh, well, blah, blah, blah ain't sh. If we say that all the time, what does that do to the psyche of the Black man? I'm actually going to read some scientific information that I found from credible sources, and our brains are actually different. So our brains can also be considered sex organs because the hormones in our bodies actually influence the way that our brains develop and the way that we perceive things. So here we go. So women's reading comprehension and writing ability consistently exceed that of men on average. So when you're in the grocery store and you're reading labels, women are typically going to be better at it than men. Also, women tend to recall emotional memories more quickly, and our memories are more intense and richer than men. So that comes from Stanford, and then from Northwest Medicine, they say men tend to be better at task-focused projects, which kind of explains why I cannot focus really when it comes to putting some things together, or I get frustrated pretty easily. And then women tend to excel at language and multitasking. And when you think about a grocery store, you really are doing a lot of multitasking. You're being watchful or mindful of everything that's around you. You're reading the labels and navigating the environment. You're looking at your grocery shopping list, checking things off. If I wanted to, I could get in and out of a grocery store very quickly. Next, in studies examining connections within the brain, it has been found that women tend to have stronger connections from side to side, which could lead to better intuitive thinking, analyzing, and drawing of conclusions. Men, on the other hand, tend to have stronger connections from back to front, which can result in heightened perception and stronger motor skills. So I say all of that to say that we're built differently, and that we also need to be mindful of the partners that we have and extend some grace to these men, because if they are not the main people who are doing the grocery shopping, then yes, they will get frustrated. I get frustrated when I can't find something in the grocery store, and I go every single week. So if you know that something is difficult for your partner, as a partner, someone in relationship with someone, you should try to do things to make their life easier, right? So if I need to send my husband to the grocery store, I usually do a pickup order because one, I know that he works really late hours, and two, I know that it's not his strong suit. So I'm not going to give him something that's not his strong suit and then make fun of him, or at least not seriously make fun of him, because he knows. My husband is really good at like his thing is he's going to get the job done. So if I say I need Roma tomatoes, he is going to go to 3 Walmarts to find my Roma tomatoes before he comes home, okay? So you need to know your partner, and I lucked up with mine. So that is all that I have to say. I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye.